Here.
What is it?
A coin of great value.
A man hands a frightened girl a small iron coin. They're standing in a field. He tells her there's a place waiting for her across the sea. Then he turns away. And when he turns back, he's wearing a different face. Fans love this moment. It feels warm. A mysterious assassin owed Arya Stark 3 deaths, and now he's paying her back.
Speak 3 names, and the man will do the rest.
He saw something special in her. He's offering her a future. A mentor, choosing his student. It plays like a gift. It wasn't a gift. It was a recruitment. And the person being recruited was a child. She had just watched her father be beheaded. Her family was scattered to the wind. She was 11 years old. Most people remember Jaqen as the man who set Arya on her path. The cool, calm killer who made her dangerous, and sure, he did set her on a path. But look at where that path actually goes. It goes to a temple. And in that temple, they take her name. They take her face. They take her eyes. And they very nearly take the last piece of the girl she used to be. So this isn't a story about a mentor and his prodigy. It's a story about a death cult finding a broken child and deciding she's raw material. Let's follow the coin. Let's be fair to the warm version first, because it's easy to believe. When Arya meets Jaqen, she's at her lowest. She's a fugitive. She's hiding her name. She's surrounded by enemies and she has no power at all. And Jaqen treats her like no adult in the whole show does. He listens to her. He keeps his word. She names 3 people for him to kill, and he kills them. No lies, no betrayal, in a world that's given her nothing but both. To a girl who just learned that honour gets your head chopped off, here's a man whose word is iron. Of course she latches onto him, and what he offers sounds like power. He sees that she's full of rage and grief with nowhere to put it, and he offers her a place where that rage turns into a skill. He tells her she could offer up every name on her list, one by one. For a powerless girl, that's intoxicating. It's a promise that she'll never be helpless again. To be a faceless man, that is something else, entirely. This is the version the fandom keeps. Jaqen, the gift giver. The coin, a key to power. The training, Arya levelling up into the hero who saves the world at Winterfell. But that version only works if you ignore 2 things. What the offer actually costs her. And when the recruitment really began, here's the detail almost nobody connects, because it doesn't happen in one scene. It happens slowly, across a whole season, before the coin ever shows up. The coin wasn't the start of Jaqen's interest in Arya. It was the end of an evaluation. Go back to how they meet. Jaqen is a prisoner, in a cage. He's a faceless man, moving through Westeros under a fake face, on some errand the show never explains. And from inside that cage, he's got nothing to do but watch. So he watches a small, disguised kid, travelling with the Night's Watch recruits. And the first thing he says about her, out loud,
The boy has more courage than sense.
that's not small talk. That's an assassin sizing her up, filing it away. Now watch what she does over the next few weeks, with Jaqen watching the whole time. She saves his life from a fire, fearless under pressure. He offers her 3 deaths, probably expecting a child to flinch from naming them. She doesn't flinch. She names them cold. And when she wants something he won't give her, she does something that should be impossible for a girl pretending to be a stable boy.
Jaqen H'ghar.
She threatens a faceless man. She whispers his own name back at him and uses it to bend an assassin of the many-faced god to her will.
A girl gives a man his own name.
That's right.
Think about how that looks from Jaqen's side of the cage. He spent his whole life around the deadliest killers alive. He's in a cult that spends years grinding grown adults down into weapons. And here's this fugitive Stark girl who already does it for free. She kills without hesitating.
If I do this thing, a girl must obey.
A girl will obey.
She lies to stay alive. She carries a list of names she fully intends to work through. And she's got the nerve to blackmail death itself. He doesn't need to mould her. She shows up pre-made. The Lannisters already did the hard part. The part the cult usually has to beat into people. Now, I'll be honest that this next part is interpretation. The show keeps Jaqen's motives hidden on purpose. But the actor who played him, Tom Willashiha, has said it plainly. He says Jaqen saw Arya's potential way back when they first met in Westeros, and that the faceless men noticed she had her own agenda and quietly used it. Read the season again with that in mind, and the coin stops feeling like a thank you. It starts feeling like the last step of a recruitment that began the moment a caged killer noticed a little girl who named deaths like other kids name toys. So he didn't just repay a debt and happen to spot talent. He watched her show him, bit by bit, that she already had the one thing his cult exists to manufacture. And then he handed her the coin that would bring her straight to them, which leaves the most uncomfortable question in the whole story. Did the faceless men want Arya because she was special, or because her grief had already half-broken her? And a half-broken child is exactly what a death cult is looking for. Here's what the gift actually costs, and the show says the price out loud. Fans just don't hear it as a price, because it's dressed up as wisdom. To become a faceless man, Arya has to become no one. That sounds like cool training montage talk. So strip the mysticism off and look at what it really means. She has to throw away everything she owns.
A man wonders, how is it that no one came to be surrounded by Arya Stark's things?
Her things, dumped into the sea. She has to give up her name, she has to give up her face, she has to give up her list. The people she loves, the people she hates. The whole map of who she is. The point of the training isn't to make Arya a better Arya. The point is to delete Arya and leave a weapon where the girl used to be. Sit with that as a thing done to a child. Arya shows up carrying the only thing she has left. Her family, her memories, her grief, her name. And the very first thing they demand is that she destroy all of it, not work through the trauma, not heal from it, erase the person it happened to. That's not therapy for a broken kid. It's the opposite of therapy. A grieving girl walks in the door, and the cure they offer is to stop being the girl who has anything to grieve. And when she resists, when she keeps needle hidden in the rocks, holding on to the one piece of herself she won't throw away, they don't gently talk her into it. They escalate. Let's call the methods what they are, because training is doing a lot of work to hide them. Arya kills a man off her own list, acting as Arya, not as no one. And the house doesn't sit her down for a talk. They poison her blind. They take a child's eyesight as punishment for the crime of still being herself. Then, blind and helpless on the streets of Braavos, she gets handed a stick and beaten, day after day, by the waif, an acolyte who, the show makes obvious, hates Arya and uses the training as an excuse to hurt her. Say that back plainly. A grieving child gets stripped of who she is, blinded when she holds on, then beaten bloody while she can't even see it coming. Anywhere outside a fantasy show, you wouldn't call that training. You'd call it breaking a child. And the man running all of it, calm, patient, never raising his voice, is Jaqen. He doesn't stop the waif. He approves it. And later, when Arya fails a job by showing mercy, Jaqen personally gives the waif permission to kill her. The mentor everyone remembers as her protector signs off on her death the second she's too human to finish the kill. That's the real relationship, with the mystery stripped off. Not teacher and student, handler and asset. And the asset gets put down when it stops working. Here's where the damage outlives the temple, because even after Arya gets out, she doesn't get out clean. And the books push this even further than the show. By the time she leaves Braavos, she's already used what they gave her. In the books, before she ever goes home, she puts on another person's face and commits murder for her own revenge. She lures one of the Mountain's men into a room, and she kills him slowly. On purpose. The same way he once killed a helpless boy she knew. A child wearing a dead stranger's face, taking her time with a kill. The training didn't give her justice, it gave her a method. And a taste for it, and that's the part that follows her out the door. The skills are real, and they never leave. For the rest of the show, Arya can become anyone. Fool anyone, kill anyone, and feel calm doing it, because to her, death is now a craft. The scared girl who flinched in a dungeon is gone. What's left is fluent in murder. Yes, that fluency saves lives later. It ends the Night King. But pretending it came for free is the lie the warm version depends on. It cost her childhood. The whole thing, spent inside a temple that tried to convince her she never had one. I'll be straight about the interpretation. The show wants you to read her assassin skills as a triumph, and you're allowed to. But the exact same scenes, read cold, are the story of a child turned into a weapon by adults who looked at her grief and saw an opening. Now here's the third turn. And it changes the whole relationship. Because it means Jaqen wasn't just careless with Arya, he was gambling with her. Look closely at the final test. When Jaqen sends the waif to kill Arya, the show frames it as punishment for a botched job. But listen to what the creators actually said about that moment. In the official behind-the-episode commentary, the showrunners say it flat out. Jaqen hoped the whole time that Arya would be the one who walked away. He sent an assassin to murder his own student, while secretly betting she'd kill the assassin instead. That's not a teacher giving a test. That's a man so sure this one kid is special that he'll wager her life to prove it. The actor said it even more bluntly. In his read, if Arya had died, it would have just meant she was never the one Jaqen was looking for. Her death was an acceptable cost. He was searching for someone specific, and he was willing to spend Arya's life to find out if it was her. And notice the other tell the show berries. None of this was standard procedure. There are strong hints that what Arya went through was specific to her. The waif was a better fighter, and she was never blinded, never tortured. So Arya wasn't going through the normal machine, she was pushed harder, broken further, tested past where any ordinary recruit would be, because Jaqen was trying to force an answer to a question he'd carried since Harrenhal. Is this the one? And the answer surprised him, because here's the failure, and it cuts both ways. The faceless men exist to make no one. A perfect empty tool with no self left to get in the way. By that standard, Arya is a disaster. She went through the whole process, paid the whole price, reached the final step, and refused to disappear. Their entire purpose is erasing people, and their most gifted recruit ever walked all the way to the edge of vanishing and chose to stay herself.
A girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell, and I'm going home.
That's the horror folded inside the gift. Jaqen didn't just risk a child's life on a hunch. He found, in Arya, maybe the best raw material the faceless men had ever seen, and his need to prove it nearly killed her, over and over, on purpose. The potential fan's love is the exact reason she got the worst treatment in the house. She was special. That's precisely why they almost destroyed her. And here's the turn that makes this a tragedy instead of just a horror. The one thing that sets Arya apart from every other child the faceless men ever swallowed. It didn't fully work. At the end of all of it, blind, beaten, hunted through the streets by the waif who was sent to kill her, Arya does the one thing the training was built to make impossible. She lures the waif into the dark where being blind is suddenly an advantage. And she kills her. By the faceless men's own logic, that should finish her transformation. And Jaqen tells her exactly that.
Finally, a girl is no one.
And Arya looks at the man who took her sight, approved her beatings, and ordered her death, and turns the title down.
A girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell, and I'm going home.
That's the most important line of her whole arc, and it's a verdict on everything Jaqen did. The entire machine, the coin, the temple, the name, the face, the blinding, the beatings, the games, all of it was built to erase the girl and leave a tool. And right at the final step, with the change supposedly complete, Arya reaches back for the things they could never quite take. The home in the north she never stopped seeing, the name her father gave her, the face that was hers before it was anyone's, and she walks out the door still herself. She took the weapon and left the cult. She kept the skills and refused the erasing. The faceless men got a master killer out of the deal, but they didn't get what they actually wanted, which was Arya. She's the one who got away. And that's exactly why what Jaqen did is so monstrous. Not because it worked, but because it almost did. He nearly turned a grieving child into nothing at all. The only reason he failed is that Arya turned out stronger than the thing built to dissolve her. That's not a win for the teacher. That's the student surviving him.